Yes, y'all. It is DCTF Live, episode 32, the Josh Hamilton episode, Wednesday, December 2nd, 2015. My name is Greg Tepper, managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. To my right is Max Thompson. And Max, it's a weird day.
It's a very weird day, Greg.
So nobody is watching us live. Nobody is watching us.
Nobody's watching us live. Through no fault of our own.
No. We came in. I actually, you know what? Let me tell you the full story.
Oh,
I woke up this morning. My wife is a teacher, and so she leaves absurdly early in the morning. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, when she left, I just kind of got up too.
Sure.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go into the office early.
Get a lot of stuff done.
You know, when you come into the office early and like even just like 30 minutes early.
Yep.
It feels like bonus time.
It's a massive accomplishment.
Oh my gosh. So I'm like, I stopped and I got a coffee. Like, I'm feeling good to go. I get in the office at like 8:15. Normally, I don't wander until like noon or like 5 minutes before the show starts.
5 minutes before the show, yeah.
And I get here and I fire my computer. I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's go. And, you know, internet's not working. And I go, okay.
That's not good.
Okay, I'll restart my computer. Restart the computer. Same thing.
Yeah.
Turns out that one of the fuses in the power box outside of our building blew. And so we have power but not internet. We're running at half power right now.
Yeah.
About half the outlets here work and none of the telecommunications work. So we've been without the internet all morning and it has been hell.
Yeah. There's campfires strewn about the office.
We have dissolved into nation states run by tribes.
Yeah.
It has really become really bad without the internet.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing.
Yeah.
But we're going to plow on for you, our valued.
I'm also fully prepared for the power to just go off in the middle of this recording.
So
and
if it does, and you only get this part of the podcast, just know that we died not in vain.
We tried.
We do have a fun show, though, albeit a different one. We're going to talk with Bryan Wood, the head coach of the Canyon Randall Raiders, really the only big school West Texas team left.
Yeah.
They draw Mighty Alito on Friday, or Saturday, rather. So that will be fun to watch, fun to talk to him. I got a couple interesting questions for him, specifically about moving the game to Monday and a couple other questions.
Yeah.
I wrote a couple down. And
that's good. That helps.
But right now, what we're going to do, is we are halfway through the playoffs. We have played 3 rounds. There are 3 rounds to go. So we thought that we will take, and you can go on to TexasFootball.com/playoffs and see our original playoff predictions of who we thought was going to win each region and who we thought was going to win each state championship. Exhaustive stuff.
Yes.
But we are going to give ourselves an opportunity for a mulligan.
Some of us don't need mulligans.
Right now, if you want to change horses midstream, we're going to give you that shot. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go through each bracket, and we're going to say who we had in the beginning and whether or not we're sticking with them. Now, some of them we can't do. For example, we've already had one very popular state title pick knocked out.
Yes, but I prefer to approach this as if we could change our predictions, this is what we would. I'm sticking with my predictions because that's how the game works. You don't get to change them.
No,
let's be clear, we're not going on our site and changing the predictions that are posted there.
Those are up forever.
They're etched in stone.
But this is if we had the opportunity to change our picks.
I just want
knowing
to be
what we know now.
Transparent.
Knowing
it's
what
important.
we know. Knowing what we know now.
Knowing what we know now.
Would we change our picks? We'll start with 6A Division 1.
Well, Just like with our Thanksgiving rankings. They'll all be up at once, but we'll be talking through it.
Correct.
Yes.
6A Division 1, I had Allen in the beginning. I see no reason to change it. If anything, I feel more confident about it because a lot of the teams that I thought could knock him out, like Pearland and Yule's Trinity, are out, and they're not going to have to face them.
All being weeded out. Yeah.
So I had Allen. I'm sticking with Allen.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, no question.
6A Division 2.
Yeah.
I had Katie.
Yep.
I feel even more confident in Katie.
Even more confident in Katie.
Because I think they're going to beat Manville this week. And if Cibolo Steel is really as banged up, I thought Cibolo Steel was the team that could knock them out. I thought that was their biggest challenge.
Okay.
And the way that they're playing right now, they just hung 66. I love the way that they're playing right now.
Sure.
I think Katie. I'm sticking with Katie in 6A Division 2.
I'm going with Lake Travis.
I knew you were going to do that.
But here's why. I
am a homer?
No, it's actually I'm not a homer. It's based on experience though. At some point with Lake Travis teams, you either are in or you are out, and I'm in.
Okay.
I think every Lake Travis team I've watched that's won a state championship reaches a point where you go, okay, they're probably not going to lose now, and I'm there. I think head to head they're a good matchup. I think it'll be close. I don't think all of a sudden I don't have confidence in Katie. Katie could win very easily.
I'll tell you.
But I've decided I'm buying in on Lake Travis.
I'll tell you that I would now pick Lake Travis to make a title game.
Yeah.
But I'm sticking with Katie. Yeah. To me,
I think it's fair either way. This is one of those, would I change it? Do I need to change it?
You can't
trying to mix it up.
You can't really go wrong with that one. 5A Division 1. I started with Alito. Ride or die, baby. I'm sticking with the Bearcats. And I know that you are so out on the Bearcats, but I just think that this is a program that knows how to win.
Then that's a completely fair point, and one that basically I just supported with my Lake Travis pick. Here's a team that knows how to win. But we talk so much about picking teams because that seems like the team that should be there. It's sort of the same argument, but in reverse, using it against itself. I just think we're picking Alito because it's Alito, not because they've done anything that impressive this season. That's all.
I think that they've got
and in fairness, we won't know because that region has never historically been tough for them. But I wouldn't be surprised if Canyon Randall wins this game.
I would. I'll tell you that. Even though we're going to have the coach on in just a minute.
That's fine. That's fine.
So who are you going with in 5A Division?
I'm still going with Lake Ridge, though. I mean, I was always going with Lake Ridge. I'm riding that train. They don't play a lot of great defense, but man, oh man, are they going to bury you with points.
And I think that could catch up with them at some point, is the fact that they don't play great defense.
Any team like that, it could catch up with them. I'm banking on they're going to bury you with points, and they've only got to do it 3 more times.
5A Division 2. Started with Cedar Park. Stick with Cedar Park.
Started with Cedar Park, sitting with State. There's no.
No.
Why would you change it?
There's no other option.
There's no. I mean, all respect to the teams putting together nice runs right now. Ridge Point teams. Sorry.
Once Crosby went out, that was the big thing for me.
And I'm not. One of these teams could win, but Cedar Park has done nothing, and the teams around them have done nothing to show that this pick should change.
So now a pick that I think has to change for both of us, or would have to change. 4A Division 1. I had Navasota.
We both picked Navasota.
And Navasota is gonzo.
They're gone.
So I'm going to go with the team that I think is playing the best right now, and that's Argyle.
Yeah, Argyle.
I think that Argyle has been so complete, and that win over Kennedale really, really impressed me.
Yeah.
That they can play in a lot of different ways. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball, they can win with defense. I love their versatility. I like Argyle to win a title.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're my favorite there.
4A Division 2. I started with West Orange Stark. Ride or die, baby.
Ride or die. Same here. West Orange Stark. And we found out, talking with some of the other riders from around the state, Mr. Padilla, Mr. Stepp, there's some definitely some differing opinions on what happens, how 4AD2 shakes out. And valid points, all of them. I mean, certainly Salina looks very good right now. Very good.
I think if you want to say Salina's going to win the title, I wouldn't fault you.
But you and I, admittedly, from the outset, are riding the West Orange Stark bandwagon.
I've been on the bandwagon since the jump.
Yeah.
3A Division 1. In the beginning, I had Cameron Yo.
So did I.
I think they're losing this week to Teague. I think that I just told my friends this on 1660 ESPN in Central Texas. I think that I think they're going to lose. I think that the way Teague is playing right now, they are so hot right now.
I wouldn't go so far to say
they're
as
like
I
Hansel.
think Teague is going to win this week specifically.
Okay.
I just think the run of results for Yo this year and in the playoffs suggest that they're making themselves vulnerable week after week after week. You sit there and go, this could be the week. And I'm sorry, an outright champion that you're picking, you don't feel that way about them week after week like this. And look, team that knows how to do it, Cameron Yo. And they could get there, and my pick's not changing on the site. But right now, all results, the way they've been, I'm going with Brock.
I am too.
Yeah.
I am too. I think that Brock, what they did last week to Wall, just dismantling them, was really impressive. And that was the kind of win that you go, I need to see that before I'm willing to buy in whole hog. Yeah. I'm willing to buy in whole hog right now because the way that Brock is playing defense and the way that they can score with Letty French and all those playmakers, I like Brock to win the 3A D1 title. Yeah. 3A D2.
Now, this is interesting.
I started with East Bernard.
Yeah.
And I'm riding with them. Do you realize they've given up 6 points in the playoffs?
I do realize that. It was interesting because we both picked different teams to win this, and we're both sticking with them. It's a lot like 5AD1 with Aledo and Lake Ridge. I, about halfway through the season, just realized that Wascom didn't rebuild. They reloaded. And here they come. Yeah. And I'm sticking with them. I think they're tested. They've played tough teams. They're going to have a tough one this week with West Rusk.
And I think, I'll tell you this, if we get a Wascom East Bernard semifinal, that'd be salty. That'd be real salty.
For sure.
2A Division 1, we can just skip over this. Right?
Yeah.
Canadian today, Canadian yesterday, Canadian tomorrow, Canadian forever.
This is not going to change.
2A Division 2.
Same scenario as the two we just talked about, though. We both picked different teams, and we're sticking with them.
I stuck with I'm with Seagraves.
Yeah.
There's two other teams that I think could up and win this.
Sure.
In fact, perhaps as many as 3.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah.
I think if you want to go with Albany here, I think that's totally fair. I think if you want to go with Bremond here, I think, of course, the defending champs have looked great. And you know what? I think if you want to go with Bruni, you can go here, too.
I think you could. I think Bruni is your outsider, but I think they could do it. And it could be awesome.
This is, so you know how I mentioned with 6AD2 with Katie, I felt even better about this?
Yeah.
I feel way worse about Seagraves, but I don't feel so much worse that I'm willing to go away from them.
And it's nothing that Seagraves has done.
No, it's what other people
It's what the other teams around them are doing. Right. You're realizing this is going to be a fight.
It is.
And I feel the same way about Bremont. You look at these teams and you go, the other ones are really good too. As much as I love defending champions, as much as I love Rochad Paul, it's going to be a fight.
I think what happened is that we started with about 6 teams that we could conceivably see winning the title. And I think if you picked any of the 6, you were okay with it. You know, there were some that were heavier favorites than others. Yep. And all that's happened is those 6 teams have all come a lot closer to each other. And so then they're all really, really, it's like a 6-sided dice, you know, which is just a regular dice.
Yes. What are you talking about?
I was saying you roll the dice and
but it's just a normal dice.
I think it's a normal. I was thinking, what was the nerd game?
Or a normal die, as they would say.
Oh yeah, because dice is plural. That's right. No, I was thinking of what's the nerd game where you roll the 10, 12, 15-sided dice? Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes,
that's it.
I think I don't. Is it 12-sided?
I think so.
I don't
that sounds
know.
Right.
I've never played.
I am a nerd in many respects. Never got on D&D. Never got on that.
And no problems with it. Just in case there are any avid fans, no issues whatsoever. If that's what you like doing, go for it.
Up to you. So that is those are our picks. Let us know what we're wrong about in the comments down there. Let me take care of a little bit of business right here. Hey, Texas high school football fans, when you make your plans for the state championships, book with Houston Hyatt Regency, which is offering hotel rooms to fans for a discounted rate of $129 per night and participating teams for $119 per night. Expect to be pampered at the finest contemporary hotel in downtown Houston as you get ready to dominate at NRG Stadium. Call 1-888-421-1442 when you're ready to book, and we will see you December 17th through 20th in Houston. It's kind of weird to think that there are only 8 teams left in each bracket and a total of, I believe, 88 teams left in the state, which is rather odd. We're going to hack that in half once again this week. But one of the teams that you may not have expected to make it this far, but is rolling, is Canyon Randall. The Raiders have been excellent all year long out there in beautiful Canyon, Texas. And here to talk about his very fired up Raiders is the head coach of Canyon Randall, is Coach Bryan Wood. Coach, thanks so much for hopping on with us, and congratulations on your win just a couple days ago.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We're glad to be here. That's for sure.
Yeah, I imagine it's a lot better than the alternative.
That's what I hear. I've been on the other end of it. It's not near as much fun.
I want to ask you first about your most recent game, where you guys had to move the game due to weather to Monday. As a coach, how do you prepare your kids for the possibility of moving a game back a couple days?
Well, you just kind of do it on the run, because we're sitting here Friday afternoon, and it starts raining and sleeting, and the temperature's below freezing, and so you get worried about getting out of here for the Saturday game. And then what ended up happening is just later Friday evening, we realized there was no way we were getting out of this Amarillo Lubbock area with a busload of kids and having it be a safe trip. So at that point, we had to reschedule it for Monday, and I guess the kids just don't have a choice but to be prepared and try to do the best they can to kind of hold their nerves together for a couple more days.
Do you find that that's the most difficult thing, keeping them composed throughout those extra couple days?
Yeah, I think so. I really feel like it was kind of a two-way street, so to speak, because you were worried about them staying focused and kind of keeping their nerves in check. But I also thought that we looked a little bit fresher than we've looked over the last month, and it might have been because we were on 9 days rest instead of the normal 7. So it worked out good, and I thought our kids did a great job of handling it.
Fair or not, West Texas has gotten the reputation that the past round was where y'all bow out. That's where the West Texas teams kind of defer to the teams from the big metroplex areas. But you guys are no different, are very different from that. Do you feel that from a statewide level, maybe the 6A and 5A teams in West Texas don't get the respect they deserve?
I don't know. I don't feel like that necessarily, just because that the conception is actually correct, because there's lots of times that you get to round 4 and there's not many of us left, and but I guess on the flip side of that, there's not many left from anywhere. There's 8 of us left, so there's got to be, they're coming from a few different places. But I don't know. I think that a 3rd round hump is something that's certainly talked about here in West Texas as far as the big school divisions go. And fortunate enough for us, we're able to get over that hump this last week. Get a chance to go play the best, I guess.
I suppose so. We're talking with Bryan Wood, the head coach of the Canyon Randall Raiders here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation, hashtag DCTF Live. Coach, you have the luxury of having one of just simply put, one of the very best running backs in the state, in Paul Terry. Can you tell us a little bit about what he brings to the table for you guys and how important he is to your offensive success?
Well, I think that any time that a team has a running back that is as versatile as Paul is, you can there's just a confidence level there, because he can turn a play that maybe we didn't get blocked right or go exactly as designed, and he can take it and turn it into 5 yards. So he's an elusive back. He's been, he just seems to get better every week. He's carried the ball as many as 35 times one game this year, and as little as 8 times. So it's just kind of depends on the situation of the game. But he's a great kid, hard worker. He can play both sides of the ball. He does lots of stuff for us, special teams wise. He's kind of our go-to guy, and everybody knows that, and that won't change this week either.
I imagine if it ain't broke, you just don't fix it. And
plan.
And the other side of it is your defense, which has been so good all year long, and it seems to me that everywhere you look on your defense, you've got playmakers, be it on the defensive line or in the linebacker core or in the secondary. It seems like you never know where the big play is coming from, but your defense is almost always going to make that big play.
Well, I think that's a great compliment to our kids, and of course our coaching staff does a great job with them. But I think what what has happened with this group is there's not just that standout. I mean, there's 11 guys and then 2 or 3 that rotate in, and they're a real tight knit group. And just like you said, there seems to be somebody that always finds a way to make a play. And I think when you got 11 guys that trust each other and are able to play, at the speed that we're playing and with the confidence level that we have, that certainly helps you. And that Monday night when we played Centennial, that was probably our best defensive effort of the year, and I hope that I can say that again at the end of the game on Saturday night.
I imagine that certainly is the plan. And speaking of Saturday night, you guys now draw Big Bad Aledo. You get the team that's looking for its 6th title in 7 years. I'm not going to ask you to give away your game plan, but when you look at Aledo, when you look at the Bearcats, what do you see on film?
Well, I see a team that's won, what is it, 5 out of the last 6?
Yeah.
I mean, you see kids that are coached up extremely well. They don't line up wrong. Somebody asked me earlier today, what's the weakness? And the answer is I can't find one. I mean, they just they're as solid as a team and program that there is in the state, and that's why they have all the hardware to prove it. And so, when you're talking to our kids, all we can talk about is going out and executing our game plan and doing the best we can and making sure that our effort is unmatched. I don't know that if we got in a track meet or some kind of weightlifting competition with those guys, we're not going to win. But effort wise, we say this all the time, that you don't have to be talented to give 100% effort. And that's kind of what our team is built around. And that's what we get out of them every week is great effort.
It's certainly worked to the tune of 12 wins and 13 tries so far this year, but you are up against a unique challenge this week with a short week. Playing on Monday and then playing again on Saturday. What changes for you in this week, just preparation wise, as you have maybe 1 or 2 fewer days?
Well, to be honest with you, it's really weird. I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to kind of wrap your head around it because you get back Monday night and then yesterday was our weekend. Basically we had one day to do all of our game planning and preparation, and then today we had a workout already today, and that was our Monday. So I guess what I try to relate to our kids is that it's like playing a Thursday game, during the regular school year, which we did a few times, where you got 3 days prep and then it's game time. So we kind of try to relate it to that. I think at this point, really, you're 4 rounds deep. You just try to do the best you can to keep them fresh, but you really got to have them mentally prepared, as well.
We're talking with Bryan Wood, the head coach of the Canyon Randall Raiders here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation, hashtag DCTF Live. Coach, one last question before we let you go. You guys are one of 8 teams left in your bracket. At this point, you can pretty much see the lights of NRG Stadium from here. What would a win on Saturday and if you squint even further, what would a trip to NRG Stadium mean to the Canyon community?
Oh man, it's hard to think past right now, but anytime that you're at this point and you can kind of see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, the excitement level is just crazy. Our kids are pumped to go down and be able to play in Cowboy Stadium against maybe what some would argue the best team in the state of Texas, and that's how we're playing it right now. Is that you're going to go to maybe the best venue and play the best team, and there's lots of folks that would like this opportunity. Now go make the best of it and see if you can't pull off the underdog upset, and then after that, we can talk about the next one. But just being right here, the excitement level, the way it is right now, I can't imagine how it could be here in a week or 2.
Man, I imagine they might build a statue to you if you win 3 more games. I know how football crazy Canyon can be. So I imagine that you're going to have a lot of support out there on Saturday at AT&T Stadium.
Yes, sir. I think we'll have a good following, and we're excited to get there.
Well, he is Bryan Wood, the head coach of the Canyon Randall Raiders. You can check out his squad taking on the Aledo Bearcats on Saturday at AT&T Stadium. Coach Wood, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on all your success so far, and best of luck the rest of the way, and maybe we'll see you at NRG Stadium.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There he goes. Bryan Wood, the head coach of Canyon Randall. You texted me. I guess it was Monday. No, you told me when we were doing the radio hour. Because I had kind of gone silent. I was working on notes for the radio hour and stuff like that. Yeah. And I kind of stepped away from the computer for scores. And you told me, he's like, "Did you see what Randall did to Burleson Centennial?" And I was like, "No, I mean, did they win?" He's like, "You were like, they didn't just win, they dominated them.
They dominated."
And I'll tell you, look, they are, and I think you heard it there from him.
Yeah,
they're underdogs.
Oh, sure,
and they know they're underdogs. But and it's not just the West Texas First DFW thing; it's the Aledo thing.
Yeah, for sure. There's no question.
There's no question that they're underdogs. But at the same time, I mean, isn't this the most fun then? That you get to go in and play at AT&T Stadium and play loose and be like, you know what? Let's go shock the world.
Yeah. I know you are to some degree. I am seriously a sucker for the West Texas and South Texas and El Paso teams. I mean, when they make it this far, I'm sorry, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them so hard. So hard.
Well, and I'll tell you, their defense has so many playmakers, as I mentioned. Kate Satterwhite, the defensive end, is going to be a menace on that Aledo team. And I would not be surprised if this game is real close into the fourth quarter.
I wouldn't either.
I still think Aledo wins. I think that being closer to home helps. And I think that
it's a venue they're used to winning in, too.
And it's short week. Yeah. I mean, you think about Aledo played on Friday.
Yeah, they've had all the time in the world.
They've got a full 3-day head start on them. Yeah. I mean, essentially, Aledo has every advantage in this game.
I will say this. The rest is the biggest thing. The weekend rest is the biggest thing. You don't know who you're preparing for. I think everyone expected that game to be closer between Centennial and Randall. But... look, the flip side of it is it's two very different teams to prepare for, but the rest is the huge part.
I'll mention it in Fixin' to Pick'em, which is going to come out tomorrow, which is Thursday.
Yes.
That there is a path to victory for Randall, and that is they got to run the ball and just eat clock and keep the ball away from Aledo.
That's what they're designed to do. And
it can work.
Yeah.
It can work. They're considerable underdogs, but it's hard not to root for them. They've had such a great story, and the entire West Texas community is behind them. Well, that's going to do it for a very special edition of DCTF Live. DCTF Live, air quotes. Thank you for watching. Remember, we're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, and you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy, and we will see you tomorrow on DCTF Live. Maybe.